Hello, good beans, and welcome back to Midnight Requiem. Today we'll be talking about an Austro-Hungarian born American actress and technology inventor, Hedwig Eva Marie, otherwise known as Hedy Lamarr. She was a film star during Hollywood's golden age. Lamarr was born in 1914 in Vienna, the only child of Gertrude Trude and Emil Kaisler. As a child, Lamarr showed an interest in acting and was fascinated by theater and film. At the age of 12, she won a beauty contest in Vienna. She also began to associate invention with her father, who would take her out on walks, explaining how devices function. Lamarr was taking acting classes in Vienna when one day she forged a note from her mother and went to Sascha Film and was able to get herself hired as a script girl. While there, she was able to get a role as an extra in Money on the Street 1930, and then a small speaking part in Storm in a Water Glass 1931. Producer Max Reinhardt then cast her in a play entitled The Weaker Sex, which was performed at the theater in Der Justizit. Reinhardt was so impressed with her that he brought her with him back to Berlin. However, she never actually trained with Reinhardt or appeared in any of his Berlin productions. Instead, she met the Russian theater producer Alexis Granowski, who cast her in his film directorial debut, The Trunks of Mr. O.F. 1931, starring Walter Abel and Peter Lorre. Granowski soon moved to Paris, but Lamarr stayed in Berlin and was given the lead role in No Money Needed, 1932, a comedy directed by Carl Booth. Lamarr then starred in a film which made her internationally famous. In early 1933, at the age of 18, Lamarr was given the lead in Gustav Mahler's film Ecstasy. She played the neglected young wife of an indifferent older man. The film became both celebrated and notorious for showing Lamarr's face in the throes of orgasm, as well as close-up and brief scenes of nudity. Lamarr claimed she was duped by the director and producer, who used high-powered telephoto lenses, but other people related to the movie contested her claims. Although she was dismayed and now disillusioned about taking other roles, the film gained world recognition after winning an award at the Venice Film Festival. Throughout Europe, it was regarded as artistic work. In America, it was considered overly sexual and received negative publicity, especially among women's groups. It was banned there and in Germany. Lamarr played a number of stage roles, including a starring one in Sissy, a play about Empress Elizabeth of Austria, produced in Vienna. It won accolades from critics. Admirers sent roses to her dressing room and tried to get backstage to meet her. She sent most of them away, including a man who was most insistent, Frederick Mandel. He became obsessed with getting to know her. Mandel was an Australian military arms merchant and munition manufacturer who was reputed the third richest man in Austria. She fell for his charming and fascinating personality, partly due to his immense financial wealth. Her parents, both of Jewish descent, did not approve due to Mandel's ties to Italian fascist leader Benito Mussolini and later German Führer Adolf Hitler, but they could not stop the headstrong Lamarr. On August 10, 1933, Lamarr married Mandel at the Karlskirche. She was 18 years old and he was 33. In her alleged autobiography, Ecstasy and Me, she described Mandel as an extremely controlling husband who strongly objected to her stimulated orgasm scene in Ecstasy and prevented her from pursuing her acting career. She claimed she was kept in virtual prisoner in their castle home. Lamarr's marriage to Mandel eventually became unbearable, and she decided to separate herself from both her husband and country in 1937. In her alleged autobiography, she wrote that she disguised herself as her maid and fled to Paris. But by other accounts, she persuaded Mandel to let her wear all of her jewelry for a dinner party, then disappeared afterward. She writes about her marriage. She said, "I knew very soon that I could never be an actress while I was his wife. He was the absolute monarch in his marriage, and I was like a doll. I was like a thing, some object of art. which had to be guarded and imprisoned, having no mind, no life of its own. During her Hollywood career, after arriving in London in 1937, she met Louis B. Mayer, head of MGM, who was scouting for talent in Europe. She initially turned down the offer he made her of $125 a week, but then booked herself on the same New York-bound liner as him and managed to impress him enough to secure a $500 a week contract. Mayer persuaded her to change her name to Hedy Lamarr to distance herself from her real identity and the ecstasy lady reputation associated with it, choosing the surname in homage to the beautiful silent film star Barbara Lamarr on the suggestion of his wife, who admired Lamarr. He brought her to Hollywood in 1938 and began promoting her as the world's most beautiful woman. Mayer loaned Lamarr to producers Walter Wagner, who was making Algiers in 1938, an American version of the French film Pepe le Moko, 1937. Lamarr was cast in the lead opposite Charles Boyer. The film created a national sensation, says Cher. She was billed as an unknown but well-publicized Austrian actress, which created an anticipation in audience. Mayer hoped she would become another Greta Garbo or Marlene Dietrich. According to one viewer, when her face first appeared on the screen, everyone gasped. Lamarr's beauty literally took one's breath away. In future Hollywood films, she was invariably typecast as the archetypical glamorous seductress of exotic origin. Her second American film was to be I Take This Woman, co-starring with Spencer Tracy under the direction of Regula Dietrich, collaborated with Joseph von Sternberg. Von Sternberg was fired during the shoot, replaced by Frank Bozurch. The film was put on hold and Lamarr was put into The Lady of the Tropics, 1939, where she played a mixed-race seductress in Saigon, opposite of Robert Taylor. She returned to I Take This Woman reshoot by W.S. Van Dyke. The resulting film was a flop. Far more popular was Boomtown, 1940, with the Clark Gable, Claudette Colbert, and Spencer Tracy. It made $5 million. MGM promptly reteamed Lamarr and Gable in Comrade X, 1940, a comedy film in the vein of Nitouch, 1939, which was another hit. Lamarr was teamed with James Stewart in Come Live With Me, 1941, playing Vietnamese refugee. Stewart was also in Siegfried Girl, 1941, where Lamarr, Judy Garland, Lana Turner played as aspiring showgirls, a big success. Lamarr was top billed in H.M. Pullman Esq, 1941. Although the film's protagonist was the title role played by Robert Young, she made a third film with Tracy, Tortilla Flat, 1942. It was successful at the box office, as was Crossroads, 1942, with William Powell. Lamarr played an exotic Arab seductress, Tondilayo, in White Cargo, 1942, top billed over Walter Pidgeon. It was a huge hit. White Cargo contains arguably her most memorable film quote, delivered with provocative invitation, I am Tondilayo, I made tiffin for you. This line typifies many of Lamarr's roles, which emphasize her beauty and sensuality while giving her relatively few lines. The lack of acting challenges bored Lamarr. She reportedly took up inventing to relieve her boredom. Her off-screen life and personality during those years was quite different from her screen image. She spent most of her time feeling lonely and homesick. She might swim at her agent's pool, but shunned the beaches and starring crowds when asked for an autograph. She wondered why anyone would want it. Writer Howard Sharp interviewed her and gave his impression. Hedy was the most incredible person in sophistication. She knows peculiarly what European art of being womanly. She knows that men want in a beautiful woman what attracts them, and she forces herself to be these things. She has magnetism with warmth, something that neither Dietrich nor Garbo has managed to achieve. Lamarr wanted to join the National Inventors Council, but was reportedly told by NIC member Charles F. Kettering and others that she could better help the war effort by using her celebrity status to sell war bonds. She participated in the war bond selling campaign with a sailor named Eddie Rhodes. Rhodes was in the crowd at each Lamarr appearances, and she would call him up on stage. She would briefly flirt with him before asking the audience if she should give him a kiss. the crowd would say yes, to which Hedy would reply that she would if enough people bought war bonds. After enough bonds were purchased, she would kiss Rhodes and he would head back into the audience. Then they would head off to the next war bond rally. After leaving MGM in 1945, Lamarr formed a production company with Jack Chertok and made the thriller The Strange Woman 1946. It went over budget and only made minor profits. She and Chertok then made Dishonored Lady 1947, another thriller starring Lamarr, which also went over budget but was not a commercial success. She tried a comedy with Robert Cummings, Let's Live a Little 1948. Lamarr enjoyed her biggest success playing Delilah against Victor Mature as the biblical strongman in Cecil B. DeMille's Samson and Delilah, the highest grossing film of 1950. The film won 2 Oscars. Lamarr returned to MGM for a film noir with John Houdyk, A Lady Without Passport 1950, which flopped. More popular were 2 pictures she made at Paramount, a western with Ray Milland, Cooper Canyon 1950, and Bob Hope, spy spoof My Favorite Spy 1951. Her career went into decline. She went to Italy to play multiple roles in Loves of the Three Queens 1954, which she also produced. However, she lacked the experience necessary to make a success of such an epic production and lost millions of dollars when she was unable to secure distribution of the picture. She was Joan of Arc in Irwin Allen's critically acclaimed epic The Story of Mankind 1957 and did episodes of Zane Grey Theater, Proud Woman, and Shower of Stars, Cloak and Dagger. Her last film was a thriller, The Female Animal 1958. Lamarr was signed to act in the 1966 film picture Mummy Dead, but was let go when she collapsed during the filming from nervous exhaustion. She was replaced in the role of Jessica Flagmore Shelley by Zelsa Gabor. Although Lamarr had no formal training and was primarily self-taught, she tinkered in her spare time on various hobbies and ideas, which included an improved traffic stoplight and a tablet that would dissolve in the water to create flavored carbonated drink. During World War II, Lamarr read the radio-controlled torpedoes that had been proposed. However, an enemy might be able to jam such torpedoes' guidance system and set it off course. When discussing this with her friend, the composer and pianist George Antheil, the idea was raised that a frequency hopping signal might prevent the torpedo's radio guidance system from being tracked or jammed. Antheil succeeded by synchronizing miniaturized player piano mechanism with radio signals. Antheil sketched out the idea of the frequency hopping system, which was to use perforated paper tape which activated pneumatic controls. It has been reported in many online publications that Antheil and Lamarr's work helped with the creation of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and cell phones. However, their work was never formally adopted anywhere. Neither the U.S. Navy nor that of any other nation were using radio-controlled torpedoes at the time, and electrical mechanical devices were soon to be made obsolete by purely electronic controls. Furthermore, outside incorporating the use of miniaturized clockwork piano, their ideas on frequency hopping were not new. As early as 1899, Guglielmo Marconi had experimented with frequency selective reception in an attempt to minimize radio interference. The earliest mentions of frequency hopping in one literature are in U.S. Pennant's 725-605 award to Nikola Tesla on March 17, 1903, and in radio pioneer Jonathan Zensky's book Wireless Telegraphy, German 1908, English translation McGraw-Hill 1950, and Zenek notes that Telefon had already previously implemented it. In 1997, Lamarr and Antheil received the Electronic Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award and the Budwig Gnad Spirit of Achievement Bronze Award, given to individuals whose creative lifetime achievements in the arts, science, business, or invention fields have significantly contributed to society. In 2014, Lamarr and Antheil were posthumously inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Lamarr passed away in Castleberry, Florida on January 19, 2000 of heart disease at age 85. Her son, Anthony Loder, spread part of her ashes in Austria's Vienna's woods in accordance with her last wishes. In 2014, a memorial to Lamarr was unveiled in Vienna's Central Cemetery, where the remainder of her ashes were buried. She was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. In 1939, Lamarr was elected the most promising new actress of 1938 in a poll of area voters conducted in Philadelphia Record Film Critic. British marketers voted Hedy Lamarr the year's 10th best actress for her performance in Samson and Delilah in 1951. The British drag queen Fufu Lamarr, born Frances Person, 1937 to 2003, originally took his surname from the actress when embarking on a performing career. In 1997, Lamarr and George were jointly honored with the Electrical Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award, and Lamarr was the first woman to receive the Invention Convention Bundesliga's Spirit of Achievement Award, known as the Oscars of Inventing. The following year, Lamarr's native Austria awarded her the Victor Kaplan Medal of the Austrian Association of Patent Holders and Inventors. On November 9, 2015, Google honored her on the 101st anniversary of her birth, and on her 109th on November 9, 2023, with a doodle. On August 27, 2019, an asteroid was named after her, 32730 Lamarr. As always, my good being, be loving and caring to each other. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and leave comments. Have a wonderful day.